Dave Banks of OmahaBound Studios, and this is Tim Benson of the EAB Publishing Company. We're here today to bring you episode 3 of the OmahaBound video podcast.
OmahaBound is your video resource to all things comic book binding, and we're here today at Legend Comics and Coffee.
A great host who allows us to shoot on location to do this this fun part of our hobby. So we hope you enjoy the rest of the episode, and thanks for viewing.
So I've spent a lot of time recently thinking about different ways to do comic book binding, testing every method, every material, every binding type I can think of, and seeing what came out. One of the things I recently thought of, probably the craziest idea I've had yet, is spiral binding. I bought 15 issues of the original Marvel Handbook series, took them to Kinko's, $15, and 24 hours later, and we have this. I was amazed at the lack of gutter loss. It really turned out a lot better than I expected, and it encouraged me to keep testing this method. I remember telling Dave about this, and that sounds like a good idea, have fun, Tim. Until I brought the book in, and then
I was blown away by it. When he put it in my hands, and I actually got to flip through it, I was just amazed at how the gutter was not affected like I thought it might. You didn't really lose anything, and there was no text lost at all. And so it's a great reference.
And that's what started the whole idea, is getting artists to do sketches for me for the Daredevil projects that I needed to give them a resource to be able to see, and they all seem to carry some kind of handbook with them, whether it's digital or in print, and really just an inexpensive way to have the material on their person.
One of the things that I've learned over the years is that there's lots and lots of choices when you want to put a book together. And so I'm going to use Miracle Man as an example of how you can do something simple and how you can do something complex. The first time I handled this project, the only extra that was added to the book was creating a die stamp of the Miracle Man logo. The second time we did the project, it was done for Travis Fowler. Like before, the only extra was a die stamp on the cover, and some back covers and ads were removed. Then we had a flurry of Miracle Man sets come into the shop with the idea that they would be flipped on eBay for high profit. Some brought good prices, some did not. After that, we always seemed to have a Miracle Man project in the shop, and each project seemed intent on outdoing the previous project. In the end, the Miracle Man projects drove both me and the binder to keep upping our game. So, because of customer suggestions, we did slip cases, dust jackets, cover pockets, end sheets, scanning and printing of some additional source material. So to this day, I still get the following email in my box from time to time. I have a set of Miracle Man comics, and I'd like to do a run similar to this. How much? And I go, oh geez, here we go. Because usually it's a 20 or 30 email back and forth conversation of all the different ways they could do it and how much it would cost, and it's like they're creeping towards what they want their budget to be. They don't want a basic book, but they don't want to spend too much of stupid money up here. So they're always looking for the middle ground. In episode 4, we're going to start a series of what I call book reports. And it's basically me taking a book, a finished product, and kind of reviewing it and seeing what the pros and cons are, and to give a couple tips basically on how the project could have been better. And then when I'm all done with the book, and you guys have seen the video book report, I'll put it back up on eBay for people to purchase if they're interested. This particular episode will be about this run of Excalibur by Alan Davis, and I happen to have a companion book that was done at a different bindery. So one book was done with issues and one book was done with trade paperbacks, and we'll be able to compare gutter loss and other things just to see the pros and cons of each method of doing it. So stay tuned.
In our next episode, we'll be talking about beta testing and testing the waters of binding, pushing the limits, as Dave said earlier. We'll also be starting a series of episodes that will take you step by step from idea to finished project in a masterpiece level style of binding. And to do that, we're going to be using the Thundercats. This was inspired by simply I saw at H&R got the Thundercats die stamp available, and I said I have to have that on a book, and it just went from there. So we're going to be creating a series of episodes that will help the beginning and experienced binder really make sure every piece is down and they've got the greatest collection they can.
Thanks for watching this episode of OmahaBound, the video podcast. Send us any suggestions to the emails indicated on the screen. And once again, we'd like to give a shout out to all our friends on the Marble Masterworks binding board. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. It always seems to me we're coming back to Legends. We're just sitting in the coffee shop and discussing what we're going to do for the next few episodes.
Yeah, I think the first three, the third one about to air. The first three came together very well because we did that planning session. We knew what was coming next. So
yeah, and I'm kind of torn between whether we go to Houchen next or we go to Krypton next. I have a love for softcover books, and I really think we need to have our own softcover bookmaking machine to help those people who want to turn their comics into trade paperbacks. Not only will we help with the artwork, obviously, but you know, getting it printed and getting it. We need to talk about OmahaBound.com.
yeah,
and OmahaBound.com has affected what I'm doing on SingleBoundStudios.com.